Johann Esch and Heinrich Voes were the first two Lutheran martyrs executed by the Council of Brabant for their adherence to Reformation doctrine. They were burned at the stake in Brussels on 1 July 1523. Background: Esch and Voes were Augustinian monks of St. Augustine's monastery in Antwerp. When in 1522 all the monks that publicly professed Lutheran doctrine, the Bishop of Cambrai had them all arrested and imprisoned in Vilvoorde, where they were interrogated by Jacob van Hoogstraten from Cologne and some dependably Catholic professors. When the monks realized that they risked being burned alive if they did not recant, all except three, Johann Esch, Heinrich Voes, and Lampertus Thorn, recanted. The recanting monks were released but were not returned to the monastery, which instead was declared defiled and soon demolished. Refusal to recant: Esch, Voes, and Thorn, still held in custody, were questioned again by the Ecclesiastical Inquisition court, but they refused to recant. They were then handed over to the secular court and sentenced to death. They were taken to Brussels and held until the appointed day of execution on July 1, 1523. New attempts were made meanwhile to get them to renounce. Voes was brought first to the inquisitors, but he refused to recant. Esch also refused to renounce Lutheranism. Thorn asked for an additional 4-day period to study the scriptures with respect to his views, and thus he was not executed then with Esch and Voes. Esch and Voes were summarily delivered to the executioner, brought to the marketplace in Brussels, and burned alive. For some reason, the charges against them were not read aloud as was the established practice. It has been conjectured that the authorities were concerned that hearing the charges might cause Lutheran ideas to spread among the public witnesses of that the ideas were already there and would ignite a protest. Thorn was spared in prison for an additional 5 years, dying in prison in 1528. Luther's response. On learning of the execution of Esch and Voes, Martin Luther wrote what is thought to be his first hymn, Ein neues Lied wir haben an, which was printed in the Erfurt Enchiridion of 1524. This is generally known in English as John C. Messenger's translation by the first line and title, Flung to the Heedless Winds, and sung to tune Stone, composed in 1875 by Maria C. Tidham, and to tune Denby, composed in 1904 by Charles J. Dale.